What's going on, everybody? Matt here. Welcome back to the channel, bringing you guys a new video this week. This is a little bit of a throwback. Actually, it's a lot of bit of a throwback, but I figured I'd go ahead and do a video on these things. I got another situation going on over here to the right, but while I'm kind of switching this stuff around, I figured I'd go ahead and do a video on it because I've not really done one since I sort of retired this gear. So I just figured I'd go in with you guys and kind of go like in depth and show you guys, what the I guess status of this gear is at the moment. This is my I call it my Carolina Rebellion gear because this is sort of what made Innovative Autopsy. This is sort of what basically showed me that I should do this for at least a little while. And yeah, so we'll just jump right in. This is the mask, shoes, and I will show you the suit that I wore to a local show. Well, not really a local show. It was in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Bridgestone Arena in 2014, Carolina Rebellion 2015, Carolina Rebellion 2016, Louder Than Life 2016, Carolina Rebellion 2017, Louder Than Life 2017, and then, of course, I retired everything after that Louder Than Life. I was going to bring it back last year for Carolina Rebellion. Ended up having some health issues and just didn't really feel like doing it. So yeah. But this is the status of the gear. I've just had it in the glass case. You guys have seen a bunch of pictures of it. I'll also be throwing in like a reel of photos to show you guys sort of the different events and stuff that I've been to in this gear, and kind of show you like a before, during, and after, just on the wear and tear of everything. So yeah, we'll just start off with the shoes first. Of course, I know you guys want to see the mask, so I'll kind of build up to that. These are regular Adidas Superstars, the same shoes that the band was wearing at the time, just different variations and stuff. I went with white, of course, with the Dynamo jumpsuit. I'm pretty sure they wore it at like Monsters of Rock or something like that too. I can't remember the exact show, but Corey had a bunch of pig blood all over his suit at that point, pig blood and mud. So, but yeah, this dirt is still left over. I don't wash anything after I've used it, so this is dirt from the Nashville show, all three Rebellions, and both Louder Than Life's. So it's pretty intense, actually, that they have seen so much dirt and so much ground, especially with such a huge array of area. So, which of course, I mean, they're still pretty much brand new because I've only worn them, what, 7 times? 8 times, something like that. I don't wear these daily. But yeah, everything's still here. I'm going to put the shoes on the mannequin. I'm going to move this to the big mannequin. I just don't really see the need in disrespecting it and leaving it in the glass case. It just seems kind of pointless to have all this stuff fully from head to toe and only be seeing like from chest high, and then of course the shoes can't properly be displayed. So yeah, it'll be going to the full-size mannequin that you guys see from time to time that I change the clothes on. But this will be the last outfit change that it has, and eventually I will get a head form cast and put it permanently on the mannequin, and that way everything will be together. For the time being, the mask will just go back to the glass case until I can get the head to do what I need it to do. But yeah, the suit and stuff will go ahead and be displayed, and then of course I'll get the shoes put on. So yeah, those were the shoes. Of course, the mask is the next biggest thing. It's pretty much the go-to for people, what people want to see. Dreads and stuff have been altered quite a bit. Whenever I first put this mask together, the dreads were super long. You'll see in the first couple of pictures that they were actually like down to almost my belly button in length, because at the time they looked good on display, but I hadn't been wearing the mask a whole lot at that point, so I didn't really know. Basically, I didn't know what I was doing when it comes right down to it. And after some more reference pictures, me wearing the mask and kind of seeing where they all fall and where they need to be adjusted, I ended up cutting a pretty substantial amount of dread off. It's roughly about 7 inches, I guess, 7 or 8 inches. And I added what I cut off to the tops of the dreads to sort of give them the matted down, like worn look, which of course some of these are just falling apart. You can see the cores of what I made the dreads out of at the time. Now, of course, I make them out of like wig hair to make them more realistic, but these were made out of a rope coating. It's like the nylon rope, but I would take the paper cores out and just use like the nylon fibers because, of course, more realistic. But yeah, I just doubled up a bunch on the twine. As you can tell here, you can kind of see where these dreads looked like before. And then, of course, I just covered them with all of the twine that I cut off, because it just made it a lot easier to kind of go back and add more, as opposed to just throwing it all away. So you can kind of see where this one looked. This one was green, white, and black. Of course, I covered the majority of it up. And two, it just gave it a more used and worn look. The dreads are now several different, shades. There's a bunch of stuff showing through. Just makes them look really nice. And again, just used and worn down. This one I cut a little too short, but, that's part of it, I guess. Still looks pretty good for what it is. The dreads are very loose. They're very wiggly. They're very worn down. This mask is seen a lot. It's been stuffed into a lot of bags. The fact that there are no missing dreads is actually a pretty substantial win for me. So between the people, throwing their arms over my shoulders, or, whatever, just sort of catching my attention. I've been picked up. I've had my dreads pulled. Anything and everything that could happen to this mask pretty much has happened. So, but yeah, we got our little short dread here. On the Dynamo, there's several pictures around the Dynamo time of Corey having a very loose dread with his hair showing. So I took yarn that was actually the same color as mine. I just sort of gave like that last little dinky dread thing here. Now this has changed. This was actually just pieces of latex that I had actually poured out onto a surface and just peeled off, so it didn't have the signature Ghost Glow texture. But after I altered the mask, I was able to come across a very cheap blank that I had pieces left over from a conversion, and decided to go ahead and try to add this to my mask. Also closing this huge hole up, which you may see in a couple of pictures. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use yet. And then, of course, the awful early strapping that I didn't know any better to use. I even thought about changing it shortly after I started wearing this stuff, because I, of course, became more aware of what was going on with masks and things. I thought about just switching this out for a leather strap, keeping the buckle, but just making everything leather instead of it being a belt. And yeah, as you can tell, I never did. I decided to leave everything original just because I didn't see the need in updating this mask. I guess in the middle of the tenure, it was just sort of kind of keeping everything OG, because the circle cut around the eye actually needs to be up and around and up inside of this, which this is I'm not even sure where this mask come from. Nobody knows the origin of it. I've sent this mask to a bunch of people. They've always asked me where I got it, and I literally just got this off of eBay about 7 years ago now, I guess, and 7 or 8 years ago, and it was just a blank, and there was nothing there. They had already cut this piece out completely, and he didn't have that at all. The eyes and the mouth were already cut, and he didn't have like the patch in the eye, and I had to rework the mouth because it was cut very poorly. As you can tell, there's actually a small patch here. And this is what the big patch up top looked like. It was just pieces of latex that I was able to glue together and, yeah, make work. So I just sort of added it to it and then painted it as I was painting the mask. And it worked. I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but for the knowledge that I had at the time, it was pretty much perfect. So overall, I mean, this mask it's seen a lot. For what it was, actually. I wish that I had pictures of what it was whenever I first got it, because it is a mess. And the patch underneath it would normally say, like the PMG, like signature stamp or whatever. This one just says "Hate You." So I don't know. I guess this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that it was a sculpted copy or replica, I guess would be the better way to describe it. But yeah, overall, this mask has just seen a lot and been through a lot, and that's one of the reasons why I'm not wearing it anymore, because there are a lot of memories tied to this thing, because the mask is still in great shape. Even though I have never washed it, I have never cleaned it, there's been no maintenance on it whatsoever. other than cutting the dreads off and then of course changing the patch. Everything on it is 100% original to the mask that I started wearing in 2014. And yeah, the face paint and stuff's still in here. I may give you guys a picture of that. I don't really want to take it off the armature because it's a pain in the butt to try to get everything stuffed back up in there to keep its shape. And this head is also awful. I don't even 100% remember where I got the head. But yeah, it's just a sculpting armature from one of these bigger companies. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what company it was, when I got it, where I got it. It's sort of kind of just been around forever. On to the big guy. There's not really a good way for me to show this off. It doesn't hang very well. I didn't just want to have it thrown up on a ball on my workbench over here, to show you guys, you know, the dirtiness or whatever. And I may kind of put it on there to kind of go over like the really heavy spots, because this suit is disgusting. I wish honestly the camera was picking up the color better, but where it's a white suit, the camera's only going to pick up that white tone. Yeah, this suit, like I said, is just, it's disgusting. Between all of the face paint that's actually inside, I'm trying to get the light to kind of shine in there. The face paint I would paint up to roughly about the middle of my forearm to make sure that if my sleeves rolled up that I was covered in paint and there wasn't just, you know, pasty pale white skin showing through. And yeah, and of course it's wrinkled. This has been setting up underneath the armature for a while. Just, it's kept shape because there's just so much like gross in this suit that you could, honestly, if it wasn't as long as it was, I could probably just stand it up on its own and it would just stay there. I mean, this suit is gross. Because again, I wore this for years, never washed it, nothing. You can see my sweat ring on the back here, or I would basically just sweat myself through the suit and all the dirt and dust and everything else from the festival would collect. So there's a nice brown orange ring all the way around the barcode. I don't know why it just clustered up around the barcode, but for whatever reason it did. I guess because the barcode was kind of keeping everything off. Again, festival dirt, dust, mud, everything. So I took it down. Hopefully this light will show up everything a little bit better. The light on my workbench is actually pretty cool, pretty nice. Yeah, there's 5 years of face paint. You can actually see the sweat ring substantially better in this light. Like I said, it's about an 1.5 inch ring that goes all the way around the barcode. I'll flip the suit over and give you guys see how yellow it is. But you can tell like the huge difference in color of what it should look like as opposed to what it looks like now. This was about the only way that I could really convey what was the drastic change in color. Again, a pretty nice little space here. The sleeve, you can still see the ring quite a bit from the back, but it's a lot more from the inside. Again, being the fact that the sweat was coming through the back and not through the inside and not through the back. But yeah, everything is actually still in really good shape. I've owned this suit for about 8 years, close to it, about 7 or 8 years, and everything's still really just, it's overall just stuck. I mean, there's some pieces, of course, that have fallen off. You can see some holes here where this stuff's starting to come unglued. But the fact that this suit has been through so much, just so much wear and tear and abuse, and everything else, it's insane that this suit is actually still in one piece. It's really nice that the suit's in one piece because this is part of my history, part of the innovative autopsy history, and it's crazy to see. Kind of sit back and go through and see just everything that I did in this suit, everything that was enjoyed in this suit, and really just the life that was, you know, given to the suit. But thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content if you haven't already, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Are you ready to take the fucking test, my friends? get those devil horns up in the fucking air.
I need a minute to eliminate for everyone the everyday bullshit that I think you have done. Your impossible legal fuck is like a megalomaniacal jab on my tongue. You fucking touch me, I will rip you.
Come on! You bond, 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 wanted to be a heretic, give you bond, 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 wanted to be a heretic. Everybody's doing but you wait.
I'll kill you, fuck you, I will never buy you. I'll kill you, fuck you, I will never buy you. Yeah!
555, then I'm 666. If you're 555, I'm 666. If you're 555, then I'm 666. If you're 555, then I'm 666. Come on, people! If you're 555, then I'm 666.
I know why you hate me. I know why you play. I'll reach in and take a bite out of that shit you got.